Good evening, students. In previous class, we have discussed that what is combustion, what are combustible substances, what are non-combustible substances, what are the necessary conditions for burning, and we have discussed that what is fuel, types of fuels, and what is the fuel of our body, what is the necessary of the fuel, and what is the ignition temperature, isn't it? So these are all the things we have discussed in previous classes. Now today's class also we continue that chapter 6, combustion and flame. In today's class we are going to see how to we control the fire. Okay, so let's enter into our topics. We know that three condition is necessary for combustion. What are they? Fuel, air and heat. Why that fuel is important? Because the fuel is a substance which undergoes the combustion process or burning process. Why that air is important? Because air supplies the oxygen. Oxygen is needed for combustion. And heat. That all the combustible substance need a certain amount of heat energy. That heat energy is known as ignition point. If combustible substance reaches the ignition point, means it will start burns. If it not reaches the ignition point, means it won't get fire. So these three things are needed or important for fire. Now, how do we control the fire? We know that these three things are very important. If we prevent the supply of any one of these three things, we have to control the fire. Okay, so we prevent the fuel or air or heat, any one things we have to prevent, that fire will not happen. Okay, so in most cases the fuel cannot be eliminated or cannot be prevented. Why? Because fuel burning happens on a building, isn't it? So the buildings, that things act as a fuel. We cannot remove those things from the building, isn't it? It is very difficult. So that removal of or preventing of the fuel supply is very difficult compare than air and heat. So we try to prevent the supply of air or heat, isn't it? So we need not to consider that fuel, because all the cases the fuel will not easily removed. So that we focus on that, prevent the supply of air and heat alone. Okay. In next slide, we will discuss that how do we prevent the supply of heat and air. Okay. So cut the supply of air or reduce the temperature of fuel. That heat is important for combustion, isn't it? In fire accident happen, normally people do what? The people pour the water on the fire, isn't it? If we pour the water on the fire, means what happened? That water cools the combustible material, that means fuel. Water cools the fuel, so that the temperature reduces below its ignition temperature. If any combustible substance reaches its ignition temperature, means it will burn or otherwise not. So if we pour the water, means it cools the combustible material. so that the temperature is reduces below its ignition temperature, so the fuel won't get fire or won't catch that fire. So in this way we prevent the spreading of fire nearby places. Okay, and that during this process the water vapor also formed. This water vapor, it surrounds the combustible material like a blanket. That blanket not allows the oxygen inside the blanket, so that fuel is not contact with oxygen. You know that water vapor is H2O water molecule. So that water molecule is cover the combustible material. That water molecule not allows the oxygen inside it. So the fuel is not contact with oxygen. So in this way that oxygen supply is prevented. So that burning process will not occur. This is the one of the method to reduce the temperature as well as the prevent the supply of oxygen by applying water, isn't it? In some cases that fire will be closed with wet clothes. Why we cover the fire with wet clothes? Because that wet cloth, that wet means it contains that water molecule. That water molecule cools the fuel so that it not reaches its ignition temperature, and that cloth is not allows the oxygen atmosphere oxygen into that burning places. So in this way also we prevent the supply of air and reduce the temperature of the fuel. In most of the cases that fire extinguisher is used to control the fire. That fire extinguisher supplies the carbon dioxide surround the fuel. Okay, so if the fuel is there means we spread the carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is surround the fuels. So what happened, that carbon dioxide is not allows the atmospheric oxygen nearby the fuel, because that carbon dioxide act as a blanket. Okay, for example, here if that carbon dioxide, we spread the carbon dioxide like that means it covers the area, it further it not allows the oxygen inside it. If oxygen is not there means the fire will not happen. So these are the common method to control the fire. What are they? Pouring water, using fire extinguisher, and cover with wet clothes. Okay. In generally we have to use water as a good fire extinguisher, but that water is not suitable for in all the cases. Let us see what they are. So first, that fire on electrical equipment. Look at the picture in that middle. Fire happens on electrical equipment. In this case, here we have not used the water as fire extinguisher, because water may conduct the electricity. So if we pour the water on the electrical equipment means what happen? It leads to some other harmful effects. It leads to spread that electricity and it affect the person also. So in this case that fire happens on electrical equipment means we have not used the water as extinguisher. Okay, and next case, water is not suitable for fire involving oil and petrol. So look at the picture. Here that oil is spread on the water, isn't it? And it catches the fire, it burns. Here we cannot able to use the water as extinguisher because oil has low density compared than water. If we pour the water, means what happened? Water has high density, so it sink and oil float on the top of the water. So oil as usual burns. That water do not control the fire. Okay. So in this kind of electrical equipment fire, oil fire or kitchen fire, we have not used the water as extinguisher. Okay. So how do we control the fire? Instead of that water, we have to use the carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. Okay. So carefully handle the fire, or otherwise it leads to some other harmful effect. Next we see about that carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. So what is the carbon dioxide? The chemical formula for carbon dioxide is CO2. CO2 is a gas. It is a colorless, odorless gas. What is that odor? That smell. We cannot able to identify the carbon dioxide by the smell. Okay. So carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas. That carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. So if we spread the carbon dioxide, means a carbon dioxide settled at that bottom and oxygen is surround that carbon dioxide because of that weight. Oxygen has low weight compared than carbon dioxide. So that if we spread the carbon dioxide on that fire, that carbon dioxide covers the fire as a blanket. Look at the picture. That boy spread that carbon dioxide on the fire. That carbon dioxide has heavier than oxygen, so it surrounds the fire like blanket. This blanket avoid the contact of oxygen to the fuel. For example, here the fuel is there. Here the carbon dioxide gases surrounds and makes the blanket. So what happened? It not allows the oxygen inside the or near the fuel. So the fuel is not contact with oxygen. So there is no oxygen means no burning process. So in this way, by using that carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, we have to control the fire. Okay. And next. And sometimes sodium bicarbonate, that means baking soda, is also used as a fire extinguisher. Okay. So what is the sodium bicarbonate or baking soda? So baking soda, that chemical formula is NaHCO3. What is that? NaHCO3. That chemical name sodium hydrogen carbonate. What is that? Sodium hydrogen carbonate. Commercially we use that baking soda. Okay, this baking soda plays an important role in kitchen, because this baking soda is used for making the crispy snacks items, and in bakery also the bakers used for cooking that baking that cakes, because that spongy soft cake is formed by using that baking soda. Why that baking soda is very important? That baking soda is a solid powdery substance. It liberates carbon dioxide. We know that carbon dioxide is a non supporter of combustion. It used as a fire extinguisher, isn't it? So this baking soda is also used as a fire extinguisher. Okay, let us do the one activity. By this activity, we have to confirm that baking soda act as a fire extinguisher. Okay, so we need that a glass jar and baking soda powder and burning candle. Okay, look at the first picture from that below. We have lighted the candle, and next we have to take the jar. That jar contains baking soda powder inside it. Then we add the water. What happened? That baking soda react with water to liberate carbon dioxide gas. Have you observed on this picture, that middle picture? Yes. Now we keep the mouth of the jar near the flame. Look at the third picture. Now we keep the mouth of the jar near the flame. What do you observe? The flame off, isn't it? Why the flame is put off? Because during the reaction, which gas is evolved? Carbon dioxide gas is evolved. Carbon dioxide is a non-supporter of combustion, so it off the fire. So in this way, that baking soda is also used as one of the fire extinguisher. So today's class we have learned that how do we control the fire. How do we control the fire? We prevent any one of the necessary things. 3 necessary things are there. One is the fuel, one is that temperature, and another one is that oxygen. It is very impossible to removal of fuel. So we have to focus to prevent the supply of air and heat. We have to prevent the heat, that means we have to attain the ignition temperature by pouring that water. Water cools the fuel so that ignition temperature is not reached, the fire will put off, isn't it? But this water is not suitable for all the cases of fire accident. Sometimes the fire accident may happen by electrical equipment burning, or sometimes oil burning, isn't it? So in these kind of case, that water is not suitable. In this case, we have to use carbon dioxide as a fire extinguisher, because that carbon dioxide, it makes the blanket around the fuel, and that blanket is not allows the oxygen. So in this way we prevent the contact of atmospheric oxygen to the fuel. So automatically the fire will put off. In sometimes that baking soda is also used as the fire extinguisher. Okay. So in this way we have to control the fire. And next we have to discuss that types of fire. Next we have to see types of combustion. Combustion means what? Burning. There are three types of combustions are there. One is rapid combustion and another one is spontaneous combustion and third one is explosion. What are the three types? Rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, explosion. What is that meaning? Rapid, it is very fast. So this combustion process, it occurs in very fast in manner. Example, if you keep that matchstick near the gas stove, what happen? That gas stove suddenly catches the fire, isn't it? So suddenly, rapidly, that is rapid combustion. So this combustion process happens in very fast in manner. And next one, spontaneous. Spontaneous, what is that word? Spontaneous means itself. So it start burning itself without need any external temperature or external heat energy. Itself it start burns. It's not depend any external temperature. Example, you may hear that some coal mines are in accident, that coal mines are started to burning. So itself it burns. Okay, so like that the phosphorus, is one of the non-metal. If we keep the phosphorus in that normal environment without any external temperature or without any external heat energy, itself it start burns. That kind of combustion is known as the spontaneous combustion. And next one is explosion. So in that explosion, that means it liberates that large amount of heat, light as well as the sound. In previous classes we have discussed that combustion process releases energy, isn't it? It may light energy, heat energy, sometimes it may sound energy also. During the festival time we burn the crackers, isn't it? So it releases heat, it releases that light as well as the sound, isn't it? So these crackers also example for that explosion. That bombs also example for explosion. Okay, so there are three types of combustions are there. One is the rapid, it occurs in very fast in manner. Spontaneous, the combustion process occurs in its own. And explosion, that explosion during that combustion, large amount of heat, light as well as that sound energy is also released. Okay, so let me see that example. So rapid combustion, that gas stove, and spontaneous, and that center spontaneous, it is the white phosphorus, burning of white phosphorus. If we keep that white phosphorus in that room temperature, it will catch fire without any external temperature, without applying any temperature externally. And explosion, burning of crackers, isn't it? And next we compare that rapid combustion process and spontaneous combustion process. Okay, so first the rapid combustion process, it needs some initial amount of heat, or it is to be initiated. So in gas stove we have to start by using that lighter, isn't it, or matchstick. So it needed to be initiated once. If initiated mean it readily catches the fire and it start to burn vigorously. But in spontaneous combustion, it takes place by itself. It need not do any initiated process. In second point, external heat is required to start once. By example, if we by if we use a matchstick, that matchstick gives some heat energy. That heat energy is used to burn the gas stove, isn't it? So some external heat is required. In spontaneous, there is no external heat is required to start it. In third point, during the rapid combustion process, heat and light is evolved in a short time. So it is a rapid process, that means it very fast process. So very fastly that heat and light is evolved. Compare then rapid combustion, small amount of heat and light is evolved in spontaneous combustion. In fourth point, example burning of domestic cooking gas in a gas burner. And that example, white phosphorus on its own when we kept exposed in air for some times. Okay. So these are all the difference between that rapid and spontaneous combustion. Explosion is other one. So explosion is the during that reaction heat, light and sound is released. But these rapid and spontaneous is more or similar. But rapid is needed some initial amount of heat. In spontaneous it not required any initial amount of heat. So now we discuss that types of combustion. 3 types of combustion: spontaneous, rapid and explosion. We have discussed that examples also. Okay. Thank you children.